Hey guys, it's Macey.
And Ashlee.
And today we are going to be reacting to your guys' Marvel unpopular opinions.
It's been a while since we've done something Marvel.
No, yeah, I kind of feel bad. But at the same time, not many of you, submitted opinions. So I'm guessing most of our fan base is Star Wars.
Yeah, let's be honest. Most of the people are Star Wars.
Which...
understandable.
Yeah.
But
we used to do a lot of Marvel episodes, though, so I kind of feel bad just, not doing them anymore. And plus, I still love Marvel. It's
Old.
just, the newer stuff is just struggling a bit with it. But
I love old Marvel.
yeah. Also, we do not have video on this episode because, guys, it has been really busy. And we have not had, we've been struggling to do this episode. To have, find time for it. So we can't record this time. But I'm sorry. You guys will get video next week. It was either no video or no episodes.
So
I'm sure you guys don't mind very much. I actually want to know how many of you just listen to the episode.
and
Hello?
my brain short-circuited. I was not fully there.
You just cut your sentence off.
I can't remember what I was gonna say.
I feel because some of you have said that you listen to the Spotify one because of battery and just because it's more convenient. YouTube, you have to leave it open. It's kind of annoying. Spotify, you can just play the episode. Anyway, so okay. Is there anything we have to say before we get started?
Not really.
As always, we will be talking about the new Bad Batch episode at the end. So,
I've been waiting so long to talk about it.
me and Ashley literally look forward to just talking about Bad Batch. So, if you're just here for Marvel, I guess you can just click off at the end. But, so we asked for your guys' opinions on both our YouTube and Instagram. So, if you aren't following us on those, then
You should do that.
yeah, because you can participate in a lot of episodes. We asked for your guys' opinions on stuff a lot. So, if you want to be included, it's all in the description. So, okay. I feel there was something I wanted to say and I don't remember what it was.
Can't remember. I feel I had something I wanted to say too, but I can't remember what it was.
I guess it'll just come to me.
I feel our intros are so short. It's because we never share updates of our personal lives. And one, my life is not that interesting. And two, I just don't like sharing about me.
I'm a very private person.
I'm very mysterious.
Ooh.
Oh.
Honestly, nothing. It's just been really busy. That's literally all I can say. We're trying to find a good time to have a recording day, but I swear every week it's just it's in shambles. Literally, if it weren't for Bad Batch right now, we probably wouldn't even have had an episode this week. But we really want to talk about it. So
Yeah.
we're here for Bad Batch and that's it. That's all we care about.
Oh, we're not wrong. I'm just kidding.
That's so mean.
Obviously.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the ones that I got from Instagram. Do you just want to take turns?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one we have is from Snippy Hera, and she said Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man and Emma Stone is the best MJ. Technically.
Okay.
Love interest.
I low-key kind of agree with this one. Here's the thing, each Spider-Man was strong in their own sort of ways.
Can you talk? I'm just kidding.
No. But I feel Tom Holland was the strongest, not because oh my gosh, can I speak? Please? What was the thing?
You were saying something about Tom Holland.
He's not just in writing sense, because he did get better writing than the other ones, but also just how he played Peter Parker and Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, fam?
One thing I don't like is the whole who's the best Spider-Man debate, because Ashley said they're all good in their own ways. That's the whole point, is they're different universes, so they're gonna be different Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my personal favorite is gonna have to be the Tom Holland one, not only because I feel I grew up with him. Okay, I grew up with the Tobey Maguire ones a lot because that's what our dad watched, but at the same time, we used to be obsessed with Spider-Man Homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Used to? Okay. We used to play it a lot. So I feel like not only nostalgic, but also he just has such a fun take on Peter Parker.
It's
like
just so goofy.
He's so goofy. I love it.
Not in No Way Home, but
he kind of reminds me of like the one, what's the one Spider-Man show? Like Unlimited Spider-Man or something?
I don't know.
I feel like all the Spider-Man cartoons was that kind of version of Spider-Man. So.
As for Emma Stone being the best MJ, I can't really say because I haven't watched the Andrew Garfield movies
In a while. Ashley loves to say she hasn't seen something, but I clearly remember sitting on the couch with her watching it.
When
we were young.
Okay, you know how bad my memory is, dude?
Okay, so you would still say I haven't seen it in a while.
No, I literally don't remember ever watching it.
But you were there. It's like okay, that thing when it's like when you're talking to your sibling about a core memory and they can't remember it and you're getting so mad. Because it literally happened.
What's the point if I don't remember anything of the movie saying that, oh, I haven't seen them in a while? I can just say I've never seen them because I don't remember anything.
Okay, you could literally just say, like, I watched it when I was really, really young and I don't remember anything about it.
But I don't remember watching it when I was really young.
Okay.
Let it go, okay?
Honestly, I don't like the Tobey Maguire MJ. She's just so annoying. She's actually the worst. She's toxic, too.
Yeah.
The Tom Holland MJ, she's like okay.
She's interesting.
I don't have any like bad feelings, but I don't really have any like super good feelings on her either. I love Emma Stone as like Gwen Stacy. She's honestly queen status, so I'm gonna probably have to go with her.
Queen.
So yeah, we spent like what, 5 minutes talking about that. Okay, your turn. Hurry up. Do I need to read all of them?
Okay, my voice is struggling. Okay, cosplay. Oh, excuse me.
Okay.
Please don't.
Sorry.
Okay, cosplay with Cat said,
dude.
I'm fine now. People moved on from lots of the Disney Plus shows too fast, like Moon Knight and Miss Marvel.
Honestly, I think there's like some truth here. Like, I feel like people are focusing too much on movies when there are like
pretty good shows
out.
I agree with you on Moon Knight. Honestly, I feel like people really loved that show for a long time, and then as soon as it ended, people like completely forgot about it.
Well, I feel like it was okay. Personally, I don't like Moon Knight, but I recognize that it's like a pretty good show. I feel like the fandom loved it, but literally no one in the public ever talked about the show.
Right, and it has freaking Oscar Isaac in it, dude. And he did such an amazing performance. Oh, I need to rewatch that show. I haven't watched it in a while.
The only thing I like about that show is him, and because he did a really good job.
I used to be obsessed with that show. I haven't watched it in a while. Miss Marvel, I'm not the biggest fan of that show.
You know something we moved on too quickly from? Loki and WandaVision. I know WandaVision got a lot of hype, but now I feel like no one talks about it at all.
Because since her character got destroyed, no one likes to talk about WandaVision.
That's really sad.
I would die for the show Loki, frankly. And if I want to talk about how much I love it, I think we'd be here for another hour. So,
bottom line, you're kind of correct. Like, honestly, why are people talking about, like, oh, this movie's coming out. This movie looks so bad. There are literally shows that are pretty good that you're sleeping on.
But I feel like the reason is because they're just pumping them out way too fast.
Yeah.
So, like, there's no time to even think about one after it ends because another one's starting.
Yeah, they really be pumping this stuff.
Do you remember
out.
in 2021, it was like WandaVision started and then ended, and then straight to Falcon Winter Soldier, then straight to Loki. Like, dude.
Okay, no, I feel like the first year of Marvel TV shows was fine. I feel like we got good amount of time with each one. Like, I feel like 3 shows max. Like, even that's kind of pushing it.
That's 3 shows, 2 movies.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot now I think about it. But it really wasn't bad.
In a whole year, like, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But now they're pumping out, like, 5 shows and, like, 3 movies. Calm down. Goodness.
That's insane.
A show I'm very glad that ever moved on from is She-Hulk.
Oh.
I completely forgot that existed.
I hate She-Hulk.
Oh, I really don't want to talk about it.
Okay, we're gonna move on.
We need to move on.
Next, that's all the ones we got from Instagram.
Oh.
Apparently. We don't really have, like, that much followers on Instagram, but those of you, like, I could literally name you, like, by name. We appreciate you. But also, if, like, you don't have Instagram, that's fine. I was just saying, like, those who participate on our Instagram. Thank you.
I don't even have Instagram, so I don't know what to blame you.
Okay, next. So these are the ones that we got on our YouTube. This one's from Gymnast Kristen 5824. Every time I read numbers, I swear I stumble.
Reading usernames is the hardest part of doing these. And it's not because, like, you guys have hard usernames. I'm just so scared of messing them up.
Like me mispronouncing a name or something. Okay. She said, Aunt May should not have died. Like, the audacity to have all of his people die. Like, what the frick, bro? That messed me up. Like, the other Spider-Mans only had one person die, but Tom's Peter had everyone die and then lose their memory. Dude, Tom Holland's Peter...
Spoilers!
Oh, yeah. Okay, wait.
The movie came out, like...
No, I do not need to put a spoiler warning.
The movie came out 2 years ago.
Genuinely, yeah. Plus, there was a lot of spoilers already. I feel like if you haven't seen No Way Home at this point, you already know what happened.
No, legit.
Someone has told you what happened at
If
this point.
someone still hasn't seen the movie and they're still spoiler-free, how the frick did you manage to do that?
Can I be like you? Because
I only waited, like, 2 weeks to watch the movie and I almost got spoiled, like, tens of millions of times.
I'm so glad that I went into No Way Home with, like, really nothing. Like, I knew that...
it was so amazing.
I knew that the other Spider-Man were going to be in there, but, like, that's it.
I feel like everyone knew that.
But, anyway, sorry. If we did spoil it for you, I'm sorry, but also, like, it's been out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I thought... anyway. Tom Holland's Peter
went through it.
Through it, bro.
No, they're so right. Like, how all those other Spider-Mans, they pretty much lost MJ and Uncle Ben, and that's it. Like, they still had, you know, like, their other family members and friends. And Peter, like, MCU Peter lost everyone.
It's actually
literally
insane.
Everyone he would ever know. He lost his whole name.
Actually, Tobey Maguire Peter didn't lose MJ. He just lost... He went through with MJ, but he didn't. Yeah.
They did him so dirty.
Honestly, as depressed as this movie makes me, I still think it's... Okay, the memory thing was pushing it. I was like, did you really have to do this?
No, for real, dude. Was that necessary?
But...
Like, he could have lost Aunt May and that's it. Like, we didn't need to go with the whole memory thing.
It's so depressing. I love this movie to pieces.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
Aunt May's death, I feel like, was genuine. Like, a lot of people said that they saw it coming and they felt like it was, like, a cheap... Because, like, Uncle Ben had already died and now he's got to lose Aunt May or whatever. But I honestly kind of didn't expect that.
I really didn't expect that.
I thought she was going to live for sure.
Dude, I swear that movie set the record of how many times I could cry during a movie.
Oh, that was insane.
I think the first time I watched it was 7. I don't know.
Well, and the thing is like, after Endgame, I was like, no movie's going to ruin me as much as that. And then I go into No Way Home, I'm like, are you serious?
What just happened?
Because I was so used to seeing silly Marvel movies after that, like ones that didn't take themselves too seriously. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, though... They also kind of went a little heavy on the emotional damage.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like No Way Home was the last Marvel movie that was really, like, good. Like you came out of theaters and be like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Like, Volume 3 was good. It just wasn't, like, up to really good standards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I would give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 4 stars.
Me too.
But I wouldn't, like, make it my Roman Empire.
No.
Like No Way Home is.
No Way Home was the last Marvel movie that was, like, amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, after I was watching it, I was like, I miss old Marvel. Like, this, like, it really brought me back to, like, what...
Like, sure,
like,
there
a
were
good
some
movie.
There were some flaws about it that I was like, really? But, like, most of the time, it was a really good movie. And I'm sad that Marvel lost its qualities like that. Anyway, we went on kind of... we went on a tangent.
One more thing. I feel like it's also... Actually... No, I'll bring it up now. I feel like it's also kind of messed up that all these other movies that are really just not that good get so much talk. Whereas, like, Volume 3 was actually, like, a really good movie and, like, no one really talked about it.
Right?
Like, that's so sad. Like, I feel like all the actual good movies don't get appreciation. No Way Home got a bunch of appreciation, but that's like the only one.
Yeah, with just Marvel movies coming out, they're just so bad, and, like, I feel like everyone has lost respect for Marvel, so less and less talk has been happening. Like, The Marvels, no one talked about that film, because it was so bad, and I haven't even seen it.
Okay, you cannot say, this is your toxic trait. You were always like, well, everyone else said this movie is bad, so it is bad. instead of actually, like, forming your own opinion on it.
It has literally no characters that I like in it. I'm gonna be so for real.
Okay, but you would just say, like, I have no interest in seeing it. I think it's gonna be bad versus, like, you just sing.
Well, let me finish my freaking sentence.
You had a period at the end. You were done with your sentence. I'm confused. We can go listen back.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Oh, wait, speaking of which, I thought this was funny. Someone commented on I think it was our last episode, might not have been, but it was when I was like, did you just look at the computer screen? And you were like, no. And I was like, fine, when I go back and edit, I'll see. And you were like, okay, maybe just for a second. And someone, like, commented on it, and I was... Anyway, I don't know why I
crap, bro.
That, but...
The video be out on me for real. It was literally for, like, a second, though.
Mm-hmm.
I swear.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Marvels yet. I heard it was just like a mid movie. I didn't hear anyone say it was like bad.
I don't know. I don't really have any interest in seeing it.
I don't either. Okay.
It's been on Disney Plus for like weeks, and I'm like,
Oh yeah. Like, see, I keep forgetting it even exists.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Here you go. Why do you take so long grabbing the phone?
Okay, guys, what is this? Oh.
You can do it.
Okay, by Willie Z. Safe. Rumu? 9435.
I did not understand a single word you just said because you were like slurring your words together.
I don't want to repeat it.
Okay, fine.
I think they...
You know who you are.
I think they got the gist. It says, I don't know if this counts as Marvel stuff, but Spider-Verse Earth 16... Okay.
Can you talk?
Give me a second. Earth 1610B, Miles, and Earth 65 Gwen shouldn't end up together as a couple. They are literally from different universes. That means they can't survive unless they have the watch. And I see them more as good friends and not some couple, and I doubt they will stay as just good friends considering how much stuff we get about them being something more across Spider-Verse and Spider-Within. Hope you understood that one.
So if you guys don't know, that's the Miles and Gwen from Spider-Verse.
I'm on the fence. I'm gonna be so for real. Like, I don't really care if they get together as a couple, and I don't really care if they stay friends.
I think I'm kind of like what you said. I'm more leaning towards I want them to just be friends. But like if they get together, like I'm not gonna cry about it, but I'm not gonna like be happy. Like I don't know how to explain this.
I don't know. Like I see them being like such like a cute couple, but there's so many things like working against them. Like the whole thing where they're literally from different universes. Yeah. And they have to have the bracelet to go see each other. Like, that's not gonna work out. Bam. And I feel like it'd be better just to be, like, just keep them good friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's likely not gonna stay that way.
Yeah, like they said, there was a lot of stuff, like, especially across the Spider-Verse.
What I can appreciate, though, is that they're not, like, completely pushing it, like, really fast. Like, you can see, like, from Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, like, sure, they have little moments, but I'm glad they didn't, like, push them to be together. To be together at the end of, like, Into the Spider-Verse, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like other movies would have done that as such, like, a cheap shot.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. It just...
I don't know.
How would you make it work? I'm confused.
Yeah. I don't know.
I know. I just stay friends. I mean, if you get together, fine, but, like, I don't know how you're gonna make that work.
Good luck. Best wishes.
Oh my gosh. Okay, next one we have... Sorry, it's the profile picture.
Let me see.
It's freaking tech falling.
Oh.
That's a crime. Okay, it's from ya boy... I don't know how to say this. Silas? Silas?
Kate. Bruh.
Bro really had to remind me that my favorite character died.
What was the reason?
Oh yeah, Bad Batch season 2 spoilers, by the way. I kind of feel bad for that one. If I spoiled it for you, I'm half sorry and half not sorry. Because it has been out for just a little bit, but also,
It's been everywhere.
Yeah, again, how have you not? I feel like a lot of people were like, I got to Bad Batch finally, but I already knew Tech died.
Because everyone posted about it. Even Star Wars posted about it. Like, dude, it's kind of hard to avoid spoilers.
I'm just kind of trying to justify my actions at this point. I'm like, well, it's been everywhere, so it's your fault. Okay.
It's your fault, not mine.
They said Captain America is overrated. I don't
Oh.
hate him, but he doesn't seem relatable because he has no flaws, which is what makes Tony the best character of all time.
Oh. Captain America is my second favorite Marvel character, if anyone didn't know.
Okay, I'm gonna come out and say it. I kind of agree. Well, okay, here's the thing. I don't hate Captain America. I think he's a really good character. But, like, they kind of ate with the fact that he doesn't have, like, that many flaws.
He really doesn't. He's perfect.
Like, when
What
has he ever... Like, I feel like in the first one, he has a little bit of development. But, like, anything else... I think that's why Tony Stark will always be, like, my favorite character, is because he just had, like, the best character development.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I can't really say why I like Captain America so much. I just think he's a very cool guy.
I think so, too. But...
Yeah,
well,
but he has, like, no flaws.
I think that's maybe, like... Okay, here's the thing. I've always been that way where I just, like... I don't... Okay, how do I word this? I like Captain America, but he's, like, not one of my favorites. But I've never known, like, why or how to explain it. Like, why I don't like him that much. Until they commented that. Maybe that's why, is just because he doesn't have
You
any
could
flaws?
say, like, one of his, like, flaws was being, like, self-sacrificial. But a lot of people put that as, like, not a flaw.
Yeah.
But it kind of is.
I mean, like, one thing, like I said, more so in the first movie and part of the Avengers movie, is that he's really naive. Like, he just doesn't have a grasp yet on things, I guess, in, like, the 21st century. And so he's kind of naive in that way. But he grows from that. So I guess you could say that's, like, a slight flaw, but...
Actually, one of his flaws was going back in time to see...
Yeah, let's... Oh, okay.
I am
You're
forever
right,
mad
that is a
about
flaw.
that.
That is a flaw.
Being selfish.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yar. Wait one sec. Let's do this one. I'm gonna switch it up because that one was a Captain America one too. Sorry.
Okay.
I keep, like, talking to Ashley and forget that I'm actually doing a podcast.
We're doing a podcast? Okay. This one's by Deja Vandy. Sorry, that's not, like, judging your thing. It's just trying to read it.
It's because she's dyslexic. I'm just kidding.
No, not. Okay. They say the Agent Carter show is so underrated. Also, I low-key kind of like Miss Marvel. I think she gets way too much hate.
I haven't seen Agent Carter yet, but I really want to.
I haven't either. I've seen, like, lots of good things about it, and I do want to watch it. I just haven't had time. That's a lie. I have a lot of time, but I just don't.
I feel like
lazy.
I want to watch a lot of the not canon shows. Wait, didn't they just make one of those shows canon?
Which one?
I don't remember which one, but it was, like, out of, like, Agent Carter, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., what's the other one called? Like, all of the ones that were made, but they're not canon. But then they made one canon.
I don't know.
I don't remember, or maybe I'm tweaking, I don't know.
I think you're tweaking.
But, yeah, I've always wanted to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter.
Didn't you try to watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I started literally the first episode. This is actually my toxic trait, alright? Is when people are like, you need to try a show, and then I'll literally judge it off the first 20 minutes of the first episode, when literally that's insane. Like, I shouldn't do that. And because whenever I say that, people are like, well, yeah, you gotta, like, keep going and it'll get better. And I do need to do that.
Here's the thing. I give a show at least 5 episodes. And if I'm not interested, it's still, then I'm like, people are like, oh, you gotta get past, like, the first 2 seasons. That's too much. That is too much.
That's,
bro, you gotta hook me in the first 5 episodes or I'm quitting.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, the first episode thing, like, here's the thing. If I hadn't grown up watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I had, like, watched it now, if I watched the first episode, I would have been like, okay.
The first few episodes are boring.
You definitely, because it's a lot of building, and you have to just kind of go.
You gotta explain things, but, like, ugh.
You know what? Bad Batch has a fire first episode.
Bad Batch, the best episode is the very first one.
But at the same time, they didn't have to explain that much because Clone Wars already did that for them.
Still peak.
Like, even Rebels, the first episode, I'm like, what are you doing?
Guess what we all brought it back to?
Star Wars.
This is the Marvel episode.
Okay. Sorry. All the, like, strict Marvel fans are like, can you shut up?
Shut your yapper.
Okay.
The whole Miss Marvel thing, I don't know. The show just kind of annoyed me.
I don't think it deserves as much hate as it gets, but I'm also just, I'm not a huge fan. I do want to bring something up, because a lot of people have said that the reason they don't like the show is because they find the main character annoying, but at the same time, her and Peter Parker are very similar in that sense, where they're both like, how do I word this?
They're goofy.
Like, they're like
teenagers.
goofy nerds.
Like, that's not the reason I don't like it, but here, like, at least Peter Parker got Spider-Man going for him. I'm sorry, I just think Spider-Man's cooler. But I just didn't really like the show's, like, whole plot and her, like, powers and stuff. It didn't really interest me, so.
Yeah, I think that's maybe, like, I don't have any
vendetta against her. She's fine.
I did get annoyed whenever, like, the Marvel fanboys would come and be like, she's annoying, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, you literally like Spider-Man, though. Like, Peter Parker is very, like, in that sense. But, yeah, like Ashley said, I wasn't, like, interested in, like, the plot.
Okay, but, like, out of all the superheroes to, like, she liked Captain Marvel.
And I was like, Miss Girl, what are you doing?
Out of all of them? Like, freaking, what's her name? Why am I blinking?
I don't know.
The one in Hawkeye.
Oh, Kate Bishop?
Yeah, at least, like, she liked Hawkeye. Spider-Man likes Iron Man. Like, Captain Marvel? Really?
Oh, you know what show was slept on?
What?
Hawkeye.
Oh, I love that show.
I have heard nothing about Hawkeye, and honestly, that's a crime.
No, for real, like, no one ever talked about it, and it's such an amazing show. And you know why? Because people really don't like Hawkeye.
Also, people just are allergic to fun.
No, for real, the show was, like, silly, goofy.
And it's also really depressing.
Yay.
They battle it really, Sorry.
You know why? It's this, it's the same people that said he should have died instead of Natasha.
Yeah.
Frick you, by the way, if you think that.
Jeez.
That was aggressive, but I hate that opinion. So if I see an unpopular opinion about that, I will be jumping out a window.
Okay, I agree. I do think that he should have lived instead of Natasha. But you know an argument that I actually hate? Is the one where they're like, well, he had a family. Like, she had a family too.
She had a family too.
She had her whole Avenger family, and then she also had her freaking sister. Like, I don't like that argument at all. I'm like, okay, she also
had a family.
Like, don't even. Anyway.
Let's move on.
So, yeah. Next one we have is. I'm sorry. This opinion triggers me.
Oh.
It's from Just Some Random Person 29. And they said, Tony Stark's death wasn't that sad. Or at least I didn't find it sad. Probably gonna get murdered, or I might not. I don't participate much in the Marvel fandom. I can tell! As someone who is still in shambles... Just kidding. But, like, for a while, I still can't watch Endgame without crying.
I'm genuinely speechless because, one, that is a horrible opinion. And two, like, what do you mean? How did you not find that sad? Like, one, a character died, ? And two, I think I'm on, like, number 4. I don't know.
You're, like, number 23. Number 29.
Like, it was Tony Stark. Bam.
I feel like, here's the thing, like, it just depends on, I feel, like, your favorite characters or, like, how you grew up, if you grew up watching it, or, like, there's a bunch of factors that play into, like, how you would feel about his death.
That's so weird. I'm not, like, angry at you. Well, I am a little. I'm just very confused.
I want you to explain some more.
They really, like, just created a burner account to put that and then just, like, disappeared.
Yeah, so like I said, I can't watch Endgame without crying still to this day.
So
when I first watched Endgame,
I was a mess.
depressed.
I was sobbing.
I actually cried myself to sleep because I was like, I'm never going to see Tony Stark again. And I know a lot of people are like, well, if you're crying over a fictional character, you're insane. No.
No.
Because if you became heavily involved in a fandom like that and you lose... Because here's the thing. Me and Ashley weren't like huge Marvel fans growing up. But I still grew up seeing him in movies. And then like we got into the fandom a lot. Like a little bit before Endgame.
Like,
No.
I hate the argument that, like, if you cry over fictional characters, then you're weird. Like, okay, I know, I'm sorry, I'm gonna bring this back to Star Wars, but I'm not crying, sorry, my nose is itchy. The whole, well, we already spoiled, so, or Macey did, after Tech's death. Okay, one, I was sobbing the entire episode after that. I don't even remember, like, I can vaguely remember the ending because I was crying so much. And I was hanging out with my friends the day after, and I was just so sad.
No, literally.
The entire day.
Because here's the thing. Like, the thing where, like, if you cry over them, you're weird, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
You may not be losing, like, an actual real person, but it's the same thing where, like, when you watch things from that franchise or something, you're never going to see them again. And that's terrible. Especially if that's, like, your favorite character.
Yeah, for all you tech stands out there, I really feel bad. But also, like, that brings the argument, dude. Like, this is not joking. If Hunter dies at the end of the season, I don't know. Because here's the thing, like, I still love Tech, like, you know what I mean? But, like, he wasn't, like, my top tier favorite like Hunter is. Dude, what am I gonna do if Hunter dies? I'm genuinely scared.
You know, sorry to bring it back to Marvel. Sorry, I didn't mean to, like, change the subject, but I just reminded me of something.
Sorry to bring it back to the episode's original topic.
Please don't come at me, but I feel like if Captain America had died, I wouldn't have been...
I feel that, though.
Sad. Well, because here's the thing. I think another thing why it made Tony Stark's death more depressing is the fact that he had finally grown and, like, gotten everything
he
deserved. He literally has a daughter and a family, and he loses that. Like, what is that? That's insane.
What the frick?
What the... So, I feel like it also depends on just, like I said, your favorite characters. Maybe this person is, like, a Captain America stan, and they're like, I don't care if Tony Stark dies. Here's the thing, I would still be sad if Captain America died, but...
Oh, sorry, I bumped my mic there. It fell.
I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't really want to talk about Tony Stark's death anymore.
I think we need to stop talking about characters. That's where I will start crying, so...
Okay, your turn. That opinion is very
weird.
Wild. You need to come out and explain, like, more in detail
back.
why you don't get sad.
Okay, this one's by Salty Sid 99, and it said, I'm not sure of the popularity of this opinion, but I'll say it anyway. Personally, I think Guardians of the Galaxy is the best franchise/trilogy within Marvel. Like, I just love them all a lot, and I just realized how much of a sucker I am for space-bound families. I love their ship, too, and they're just hilarious movies.
Agreed.
But there's Spider-Man.
Oh, crap.
Dude, I'm so sorry, but nothing will ever top Spider-Man for me.
Okay, Spider-Man will actually always be my favorite, but I agree with you.
Because here's the thing, like, other trilogies and other movies, they always have, like, weak links.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Iron Man...
I wouldn't, like, go out and say that Iron Man trilogy is my favorite, because it's...
No.
It's kind of...
Captain America, sorry, the first one kind of sucks. The other two are good, though. Thor,
Thor's struggling a lot with this.
The only really good one, I'm so sorry, is Ragnarok.
Yeah. First one isn't bad.
It's not bad, but then we have Dark World and Love and Thunder. Gosh. Thor is struggling, and I can't think of any others.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, I love the whole found family thing they have going on. Just, like, all the characters.
No, they're great. Honestly, I'd have to say it's, like, my second favorite. Just, dude, the Spider-Man trilogy is top tier.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I don't know. Also, can we talk about Guardians of the Galaxy? It's actually such, like a genius...
idea?
Yeah. It's fire, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Really underrated trilogy, honestly. Doesn't really get much talk.
No, right? Like how we were just talking about how Guardians of the Galaxy 3, like, didn't get that much hype for some reason?
Also, I really like the soundtrack.
Oh, they're always so fire.
Okay. Sorry. This next one is pretty long. It's from a night reader. And they said, okay, I thought No Way Home was a mid-movie.
Oh, no.
Aunt May's death felt extremely uncalled for. It felt inserted to give us an emotional moment rather than actually meaning anything. Her character didn't feel true to what May is supposed to be. I get modernizing characters, but it didn't even feel like an aunt. She gave off older sister vibes.
Huh?
Doctor Strange was pretty stupid to not include Peter's friends and family remembering him. But I really loved seeing all of the Spideys together, and the ending was fantastic.
We have another opinion that just leaves me speechless because, like, what the actual frick do you mean?
Okay, here's the thing. I just can't even fathom calling this movie mid. Like, I actually just love this movie.
I literally can't even think of ever calling it something below than peak cinema.
It's actually, like, hands down one of the best movies ever made. And people are always like, you're just clouded by nostalgia. No, I'm taking a step back. Every time, like, the acting, the, like, pacing, the cinematography, the score, like, come on now.
Blinded by nostalgia, not, like, how I just said, like, I didn't really grow up on all the other Spider-Mans. I only really got knowledge of them when I got older.
Freaking Green Goblin snatched and ate and gobbled this movie up. Oh my
They all
gosh.
ate so hard.
What's the one line? It's like one of my favorites in the movie, by the way, is the part where they're all in the tower or whatever, and Peter's Spidey sense goes off, and it's like a slow, like, 360 shot.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone's like, what's going on? And he's like, something. And it's right when, okay. I'm sorry, it's just peak cinema.
It's so good. I love this movie.
The Aunt May thing, I can see to a point where you're coming from.
Older sister is wild.
I mean, like I said, I don't feel like it was cheap, but at the same time, it did kind of come out of nowhere, like we were saying. Like,
it did kind of come out of nowhere, but I can, like, kind of see, because Peter did need that kind of, like, final push. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but the Ghostbusters themes is stuck in my head and it's looping, and I need something else. It's so annoying. Did anyone see that Liberty Mutual ad? It's Ghostbusters. It's the new. Oh my gosh, get it out of my head. It's so bad. That was so random, but it just there's like it just keeps going. I'm going insane.
All right, back to Spider-Man. No, if there's one thing about No Way Home, there's a lot of things that Doctor Strange just could have done differently, honestly.
Doctor Strange ain't the smartest. I'm sorry. Yeah, sure, he got a few PhDs, but he's lacking some social skills.
Why wouldn't you have just, like, at the very beginning, why wouldn't you have just wiped Mysterio out of existence? Like, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Why wouldn't you have just changed something so that he wouldn't have revealed his identity?
Here's the thing.
Why did we have to erase everyone's memory?
Hey.
Or, like, Peter, if you would just...
Peter also is lacking some skills, dude.
Yeah.
He's not the brightest.
Oh, wait, I actually miss Spider movies so much. Can we, like, rewatch them? Can we rewatch No Way Home?
Yeah. We need to...
I was just thinking of Peter Parker, and I was like, I actually miss you.
Okay, I've also seen a lot of hate for some reason on Far From Home, and I'm sick of it.
Oh, what?
It's a good movie. It's an amazing movie.
Like, yeah, there are some flaws,
yapper.
but it's actually so good.
Like, hate when they're like, weak link of the Spider movie. It's like, nuh-uh. You're wrong. Incorrect buzzer.
I actually really like the whole sequence, where Mysterio, like, uses illusions.
Oh my gosh, that's so peak.
I also think his villain's really cool, honestly.
I love Spider-Man villains, like, especially growing up as a kid. Like, my favorites were, I'm thinking of the show, by the way. I didn't watch the movies. My favorite was Taskmaster. I thought he was so cool.
You know who my favorite was? And this is actually so bad, because he's not even a good villain at all. It was in the one Unlimited Spider-Man show, but he's also, like, again, in the comics and stuff. It's the one, I don't remember his name, but he sprays stuff.
Queen what?
Like
the one in the one comic we have?
It might be. It's not. It always looked like cake batter to me, but it's not.
Or like the gray stuff.
Yeah. And he's not a good villain at all. He's actually quite lame, but...
He's actually quite pathetic.
I don't know why I thought he was...
He reminds me of that one guy in Word Girl. The condiment guy. Oh, also, no, that was so random, by the way.
Wait, what guy are we talking about?
What?
In Word Girl.
The condiment guy.
Oh, sandwich, like, deli guy?
Yeah. Also, another one of my favorite Spider-Man villains was Doc Ock. I thought he was cool.
Yes, he's iconic. Okay, now my favorite is Green Goblin.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
love Green Goblin.
Which, by the way, playing the Spider-Man games, why haven't they ever used Green Goblin?
I don't know.
Like, in the first one, we had Doc Ock, and then in Miles Morales, we had Frick. What was his name?
I don't know who you're talking about, Miss Girl. Hello?
I can't remember. And then in the new one, we had, like, a bunch of villains, but it was... Like, we still haven't gotten Green Goblin. He shows up for, like, 2 seconds and then vanishes again.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it did actually... He was in the first one. He kind of sucked, though.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So this is just a continuation of,
Here, we kind of spiraled off there.
a Night Readers, but... Okay, she has, like, 2 more. Next one is, I have to chime in with another comment here and say I agree that Agent Carter is an elite show. It did a fantastic job blending in her pain the themes of the time, exploring women in the workplace without it feeling forced. It made sense to include it. And also her wardrobe goals. And the whole Jarvis and Peggy fight when Anna was in hospital is fantastically acted and no one talks about it. This makes me want to watch it even more.
No, we need to watch it.
Also, Jarvis is in it, so...
Wow, okay.
Honestly, I really like Peggy's character, and I feel like we should just watch it.
We should.
It sounds good. Okay. Next is... This is kind of what we were already talking about, but I'm not gonna lie, Miss Marvel is one of my favorite shows, and I think the high ratings it got from critics was correct, and usually the critics are wrong. It felt like a love letter to fangirls to let them know that you don't have to be a weirdo to be a fangirl. Sorry, I'm, like, stumbling. That was quite healing to see on screen, and I wish I saw that when I started high school years ago. It's hard to find positive rep of girls like this without making fun of them. Miss Marvel is so cool and really someone to look up to. The sad Marvel fanboys clearly didn't get this, and they hate on it for no logical reason. Perhaps they don't understand the target audience isn't them. I'll defend Miss Marvel with my life, as you can plainly see, lol. Sorry, I'm, like, out of breath.
Okay, like, we were touched on this earlier. Like, honestly, like, I get the whole thing with, like, yeah, it is glad to see. It is good to see, like, a fangirl, you know what I mean? So, like, we have rep and stuff. It's just, I'm sorry, it's just boring to me. It's just not for me. And, like, the whole thing being, like, the boys not realizing, like, it's, like, not their target audience is so funny, because that's honestly most of the stuff.
No, literally. I feel like especially, like, whatever your opinions were on Barbie, I'm gonna, like, bring this up, you can have your opinion and say you didn't like it or blah, blah, I don't care. But I feel like all of the guys that just, like, made it their entire personality to come out and say that Barbie was a trash movie, like, it wasn't for you.
You are not the target audience,
like,
believe it or not.
It really wasn't for you. I think the word
It was
Barbie,
for the girlies.
The word Barbie should have been a sign.
Watch the movie, and do you think that it was for you? It was combating the patriarchy. Do you really think it was targeted for men?
And here's the thing, back to Miss Marvel, like I said, like, I feel like me and Ashley are pretty good about just saying, like, I don't know, like, I wasn't a huge fan of it. But again, when you make it your personality in your entire daily life to just go out and hate on something, that's insane.
You need hobbies.
What? I don't know. When I watched Miss Marvel, though, there were moments where I was like, aw, like, how her whole room is, like, decked out and stuff. I was like, that, like, I feel like...
Who does that, guys?
And, like, she had, like, the merch. I was like... There's some things where I'm like, okay, that's good to see. Like, because I feel sometimes, like, I have, like, Star Wars merch and stuff, you know, right? Especially when I was into Marvel, I always, like, felt weird wearing it to school. Like, I was like, I don't know.
Same. Yeah, with Star Wars stuff, and especially, like, Sonic stuff, I always feel weird. Like, the showing interest in my interests. Like, I have to act like I don't like it, which is so weird.
You have to kind of, like, play it down. Like, when people are like, oh, you like that movie? You're like,
yeah, a little bit. When, like, I spend way too much time hyperfixating on it. But, like, it is nice to see that, like, you don't have to be, like, ashamed of your interests.
Like, it made me wish, I wish I could have a friend like her, honestly. That was, like,
Right?
actually, like, hourly, like, well, like, a fandom, really, I feel like.
I don't have any, like, friends that are, like, super into fandoms like I am.
Yeah, same, unfortunately.
Boo.
But, yeah, I mean, that part was great to see. I mean, I like what you said about the Marvel fanboys, like, them actually, like, making their mission to hate on it and, like, get out of here. No.
Leave.
But yeah, just isn't like one of my favorites. Okay, Bruno though was a king. Her friend, honestly, slept on character for real.
For real.
Okay, let's move on.
Oh, by the way, I do have to say I watched about like half the season of Miss Marvel and didn't finish it.
Oh.
I would instead watch Bad Batch because I was rewatching season 1 at the time. Oopsie. Yeah, I watched about half.
Oh, also the soundtrack for Miss Marvel was pretty good as well. Sorry, I just like, and I felt like the animation was kind of fun sometimes.
It was. I liked the way they did stuff.
Like, here's the thing. People were saying that Miss Marvel was a bad show for, like, X and X reasons. I feel like it's a pretty good show, but, me personally didn't like it. But people that are like, so this part, as you can see, makes it bad. I'm like, you are putting a technical opinion that doesn't even make sense.
I always, like, start the podcast sitting up, and then I, like, keep slowly sliding down. Like, I was all, like, did you see me? I was, like, all the way down.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened.
All right. Here's your turn. I thought we were gonna, because we didn't have that much opinions, I thought we were gonna not take too long, but it's only we're at 46 minutes so far. So.
Okay, this one's by TechSimp9902. It says, not sure how unpopular is his opinion. But a lot of you say that.
You're like, I just want to share it anyway, which honestly valid.
Valid.
I'll always be like, I don't know if this is unpopular, but I want to say
I want to share my opinions anyway. But I think that Captain America was in the wrong during Civil War. Okay. The fact that he would hide the fact that Bucky killed Tony's parents just never sat with me right. I understand Bucky was brainwashed, but that doesn't justify why he would hide it. That's why I've always been Team Iron Man.
You have a point.
I kind of see where you're coming from. Like, I don't think Captain America was, like, completely in the right. But I don't, like, you know, like, I didn't like how he hid the whole thing about Bucky. Like, I don't think that was okay. Like, you shouldn't have done that. But I'm definitely not Team Iron Man.
I've always said that I'm more Team Iron Man towards the last half of the movie after he, like, finds out about the whole Bucky thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like politically, and in a way, I feel like Captain America was in the right. But personally, like, he did a lot of stuff where I'm like, dude.
Yeah. The whole thing, though, where, like, Tony's argument was that, oh, like, we're killing people, like, we need to go to the government, and Captain America saying, like, you can't save everyone. That's the thing. And I feel like Captain America was in the right there. It's kind of like how, like, in Spider-Man, like, you can't always save everyone.
Yeah.
No matter how hard... Sorry, hey, excuse me. No matter how hard you tried. So, like, him there, he was in the wrong. And also, like, how Captain America saying, like, he didn't, like, want to sign the thing, so he didn't want to become the government. Like, so... Okay. Give me a second. He wouldn't... He didn't want the government to take control of the Avengers because then they wouldn't have any freedom to decide what they thought was right. And I also feel like he was in the right there. I don't think the government would have done good things with the Avengers in their pockets.
Well, like, and you can see at the end, like, they had freaking Wanda in a straitjacket. Like, they were not... No. Like, okay. Like, you pretty much just summed up everything, but...
What can I say?
I feel like Iron Man... Well, and this is, like, not necessarily a flaw. Tony is, like, very... He lets his, like, feelings influence... Like, he doesn't... He uses that more than his heart,
not his mind.
So he doesn't really think about more than just... Because, obviously, that one person came up to him, and she was like, yeah, I lost my son because of you, like, blah, blah. And that really makes him feel like, oh, well, what we're doing is, like, causing deaths. But he doesn't take a step back to realize that, like, people are gonna die, like... Anyway, I guess? Like, we can't save... Like you said, we can't save everyone. So I feel like in that sense, Captain America wasn't the right. But, like, the whole Bucky thing, like, when I first watched the movie, I was like, sir.
That is not okay.
And the fact that they were almost like, Tony came and he was like, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Let's like band
Talk it
together.
out.
Oh, and then he has to come out with that whole thing.
That is so annoying. I always get so annoyed when I watch the movie. I feel like Captain America just should have like told him what happened, like straight up, so they could like talk about it and he could explain. Instead, now he like hid it, so it seems more. I was almost gonna say suspicious. Oh, sus has taken over my life, guys. It's bad.
Yeah, and like,
Among Us imposter.
and you notice like we're not targeting Bucky at all. None of this was Bucky's fault.
No.
Steve, you should have told Tony about this whole thing.
No, I don't really like how Tony goes after Bucky because it wasn't his fault.
But Tony, that's the thing, is Tony doesn't know that because
No,
Steve doesn't take the time to be like, hey, so this wasn't him. This was like Hydra.
like if you could have just told him, you could have explained what happened.
Because now Tony thinks that he just straight up murdered his parents.
And he's like, dude, what are you doing with a killer? He's right behind you.
all this miscommunication is.
Ugh, I hate miscommunication. Oh, sorry, I bumped the mic.
That's okay. But yeah, you
I didn't
definitely.
mean to.
This one kind of is talking about the same thing. I'm just gonna bring it up briefly. It's from Parker O. Heron, 1882. And they just said, I think Cap was wrong in Civil War because he didn't tell Stark that Bucky killed his parents. I know Bucky was brainwashed, but that's not something that Cap should have hid from Tony.
It's just so weird. Like, dude, why didn't you just tell him? I can get hesitation because, like, oh, it's literally his parents. Like, you should have told him.
Yeah. That's... And that's not just a small thing either.
No.
That is literally... like, that has affected his life in a big way.
Dude, I'm holding my mic like a freaking, like, candle. I keep moving my mic. Okay, this one's by Chad20243, and love the profile pic. That looks amazing. This one says Sam Wilson is a better Captain America than Steve. Oh! You're just wrong. I'm so very sorry. I don't like comparing them.
I don't either.
Because they're different Captain Americas. Like, way different.
Steve will always be, like, my favorite, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, personally, because I don't know, like, sorry?
Whoops. Oops, my opinion.
I
start
know.
saying that.
But, like, saying that he's a better one, I'm trying to think, like,
I don't get your reasoning. The least bit. Oh, wait. Reasoning? There wasn't any. But, like, you gotta... Chad, you gotta elaborate.
Chad, please give more details.
Come back. You can't just drop one sentence and then leave.
Okay, this is our last one, and then we'll talk about Bad Batch. But this one's by Hooded Echo YT, or YouTube, I'm guessing. And they said, Multiverse of Madness is worse than the Eternals. Both of them are rock bottom, but the thing is, Eternals had a few, if very fleeting, redeeming qualities. Multiverse of Madness had none. They butchered old characters, created heartless new ones, established a power... I'm sorry. I can't pronounce this. I'm struggling. I just put it so close to the mic. It's right here.
Hierarchy?
Yeah, thank you. Wait, I'm struggling. That made 0 sense. Why the heck was Wanda Maximoff able to snap the neck of Professor Xavier, who can effortlessly mind freeze an entire room and survive being blasted by the literal Phoenix Force? Then she was defeated by a few rocks to the head, created more plot holes than they could ever hope to patch up, and treated their characters like jokes in general. This movie was laughably bad, and although Eternals was trash as well, at least it had Thena and Gilgamesh and Makari.
I kind of agree with you. Like, I've went on a tangent before saying how much I hate Eternals. It's very evident, but I also feel like at least like it was new characters and new stuff, so you're like, oh, it's just garbage. But this one, it had old characters in it that they destroyed. Like, years of character development destroyed. Especially Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just such a bad movie. Especially bringing in, like, all these super cool characters that everyone was excited to see, and them dying in half a millisecond was annoying. It's also really gruesome for some reason. I didn't like that.
I'm also, like, you kind of brought up the whole Professor Xavier thing. I'm confused because he's a mutant as well. Like, you should have had a longer fight with each other. Why did you automatically kill him?
Why was it like one neck snap and done, fam?
I'm
like,
confused.
That is that is Professor X, fam. Like,
He's literally like one of the most powerful X-Men out there.
I hated how they did Wanda. One, they made her way too powerful. Like, Wanda was powerful in the past, but like, it's like you amplified it by 10, dude. And her whole character, like, I feel like we left off in a good point in WandaVision. Like, she was fine. And then suddenly she wasn't anymore. Like, she went against the whole thing that she, like, said was wrong. I don't know what happened there. She was, like, so obsessed with getting her kids, and in WandaVision she finally let go of them. What happened?
No, literally.
What changed? And, like, she went crazy, and it was ill. And also, like, I mentioned this before, but this movie did not feel like PG-13 to me. Like, why did it have, like, so many, like, ew moments? Like, they're, like, you know what I mean? Like, Marvel has had some of them in the past, but, like, not to this extent.
I feel like the humor in like some things felt very PG. Felt very G. And then they would have like a freaking horror.
Like, all of the deaths in this movie was horrifying.
Ew.
I don't even want to talk about them because it just, ew. Like, at some parts I had to, like, close my, like, I was, like, shook at them. Like, did I really just witness that?
Ew, the whole zombie strange part. I'm like,
that was horrifying.
you know, the part where he's like talking to America and he's like telling her what to do, and she's just, if I were her, I'd been like, get out of my face.
Oh.
What? No. That is disgusting.
I hate this movie. I've only seen it once.
I've seen it 3 times.
Ugh.
I definitely agree with you saying that it's worse than Eternals because, like you said, there are some redeeming qualities about Eternals. Like, I feel like
the humor was at least good.
The humor is good. Some of the characters were good. Cinematography was really beautiful.
It was. The director, like, she's directed, like, really good things in the past. I feel like Marvel was not for her.
Yeah. Because if this wasn't a Marvel movie, I think it would have been a little more.
Mm-hmm. But, like, it had so many things, like, no. But, yeah, like I said, also, like, Eternals, like, at least it wasn't, like, ruining past characters. It just, like, didn't really bring anything new, honestly. Mm-hmm. But, like, Multiverse of Madness, like, ruined years of characters for some reason. I don't know why they had to do that. But,
ugh. Alright. Well, we are going to do another Star Wars Unpopular Opinions episode because a lot of you requested that. I love how all of you were like, yeah, how about this but Star Wars?
And we are with you with that. But
so we will be doing that soon. But I don't know. Let us know if you like Marvel stuff. I mean, I like talking about it. Like older Marvel, I guess. But I just don't know if you guys are, so... I mean, like, the whole point of this podcast was we could talk about other fandoms, but I feel like... I think it's slowly become a Star Wars podcast. I don't know. But I like that freedom where, like, if we want to talk about something else, we can, so... Mm-hmm. Yeah. Should we just start talking about Bad Batch?
Yeah, okay, spoilers for episode... What episode is it? 9?
Crap.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh! What are we counting down to?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Okay, the last episode we watched, sorry, I'm scrolling down, was episode 9, yeah.
Okay, spoilers for episode 9. 5 seconds to click off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I messed up my messed up my finger counting.
Okay. Stretching. I had a lot of thoughts and now I'm kind of
Can you do a recap real quick?
Okay, so basically Omega finds Ventress and then she explains that M-count means, how do you pronounce it? Midichlorians. And so she tries like doing a test on Omega and then they find out that she's actually like Ventress from the Clone Wars. And so they fight with her and they lose and then she takes Omega out to do like another test and then she connects with that one like being and then they come back and then Ventress says that she's leaving but then she tells the batch that if they want her to be safe then she needs to leave with her to train.
Okay, so
that was a pretty good recap.
That was pretty good.
I ate.
Okay, the whole thing with like Ventress showing up, I was so excited. Oh my gosh. And she looks amazing. I love her like new character design. I feel like one of the main complaints I've seen is that this episode is pretty much 50-50. Either people say it's mid or people love it, like, to pieces. I am on the love it to pieces side, but I also feel like the split is if you, one, you like Clone Wars, and two, if you liked Ventress in the Clone Wars. So, and I feel like the other half, they either didn't like Ventress or they just like didn't like Clone Wars.
I was telling Ashlee, so I recently read why am I forgetting what it's called? Dark Disciple. And I feel like that gives you a lot of insight into her character and like really gives her a lot of development. I feel like if I hadn't, because before reading that, I liked Ventress, but she like wasn't one of my favorite characters. I feel like if I hadn't read that before watching this episode, I wouldn't have been as excited. I mean, I still would have enjoyed it, but definitely after reading that, I was like more invested in her character.
I always thought Ventress was a cool character. Like, at some point she was annoying, but I especially really liked her character after Dooku tried to kill her off.
Yeah.
And she started to develop, like, her own, you know what I mean? Like, her own path instead of just seeking for Dooku's approval. Especially the whole arc where Ahsoka is accused of bombing the temple. And her and Ventress work together. I also love her sass. She was so sassy this episode.
I love what our dad said about how her and Ahsoka are kind of like the same in that sense, where they've both been like betrayed by like an order that they really strongly believed in, and now they're just like they're not really necessarily like good or evil. They're just,
kind of
like,
gray.
doing their own thing. That's really interesting.
Okay. The whole thinking where to start.
The whole M count thing. I can't
the
believe
whole M count.
Everything we talk about in this podcast, I'm not even kidding. I low key becomes true. Like, are we manifesting things?
Hunter lives.
Hunter won't die. That he'll live.
Okay, but I was so proud of myself. Like, I'm not saying like I was the only, like, I'm proud of myself because like, oh, I'm the only one that ever thought of that theory. That is totally not true. So many other people thought of this theory. But I'm so glad because at the very first mention of M count, my mind immediately went to midichlorians, and I'm just very proud of myself for actually thinking of that and actually being right, because I've never been right in the past.
Yeah, I can testify. Like, I was literally there after we watched the first episode. Like, Ashley told me right then.
No, I literally told Macey, and I was like, I have this theory, but I'm pretty sure it's not right. And like, she's like, no, just tell me it. And I told her, I was like, yeah, but I'm pretty sure it's not even that right, so it doesn't matter. I am so proud of myself. My little like Star Wars nerd. Oh my god. So I'm very proud of myself. Isn't that right? And actually hearing a mention of midichlorians that has not been mentioned for years.
Yeah, literally we only got that in Phantom Menace, and was there literally anything else?
I'm very glad that was a little reminder that like a big like speculation of midichlorians is that it's only like how Omega thought that it was only in Jedi, but it's in every living thing. But for Jedi, it's just a higher level. Mm-hmm. That's why Anakin was so strong, is because he had the highest count of midichlorians ever recorded.
I love how they tell Omega this, and she's like, I'm a Jedi, and everyone's like, okay.
No, I love that she's like, it's for a friend. And then when she heard that, she's like, I'm a Jedi? And Ventress' face is just like,
I low-key love how, because, like, something I really like about Omega's character is how she has obviously been through a lot, so she acts a lot more grown-up than she actually is sometimes. But then there's just times where you're reminded she's literally a kid. Like, that part. You're like, okay.
I also loved Crosshair in this episode. Just, like, seeing him, like, interact more with his brothers was really nice.
Yeah.
So, especially when... Got another... Also, like, that basically implies that, like, Tech's datapad had whole access of the Jedi archives. How the frick did he get that?
He's Tech. He's literally Tech. I'm sure he has everything on there.
Oh my gosh, dude. Whole access of Jedi archives?
I swear, because especially since the Bad Batch just, like, does not follow any orders.
No,
I swear, like, he was curious once and was like, I'm gonna find everything about the Jedi.
Like, he couldn't get any information, so he's like, let's just tap into here. Such a Tech thing to do. But, I love how they realized that she was like a big killer, and they're like, oh.
They're like, so she was actually just really, really bad?
I also love that they thought that they could take her.
The fight was hilarious.
They really saw her like massive kill count. They're like, yeah, we got this. And then got absolutely kicked. Dude, also, why did it feel like the fight was like in 2 times speed?
Okay, I cannot wait to talk about this. So I will say animation is amazing, especially in this episode, but and here's the thing,
What happened?
everyone raved about the fight, and like while it was good, like why did I swear I was watching it in
2 times speed.
2 times speed?
What happened? Like, why was it so
Why was it
fast?
sped up?
It started and I could not stop laughing.
I want
because I was like, what is going on?
I want to watch it and lower the speed to see if it's any better.
Like make it like, what happened? I'm genuinely am curious if they actually like bumped up the speed. Because why were they moving so fast?
They were actually moving like it was like, no, humans can't move like that.
The fight was amazing though. I
Yeah.
was very glad to see, like, first of all, like the Bad Batch's skills without their guns, because I feel like
And Ventress without her lightsaber.
it was sick. Also, Hunter's knife. I have a little itty bit of an issue because the whole fight I was like, this is so cool. And then I'm not even lying, when he got out his knife, the only thought going through my mind was, oh my gosh, that's Hunter's knife and that he's so cool. It's his knife, guys.
You better say goodbye to that knife.
Like, no,
It's not gonna be around too much.
stop.
I love joking through really serious things.
Especially when, like, he threw it and Ventures caught it, which that was freaking sick.
She ate with that.
But I don't know what it is, dude. I really need to stop going on ramblings about his knife because I'm starting to sound like a psychopath. Starting to.
I am really okay. Since Ashley was talking about how she was right on her theory, I just want to say I felt really smart when we were watching the episode. As soon as it showed Pablo, I was like, it is foggy. That is foreshadowing. That is foreshadowing for sure, because it's never foggy. And then I go on, like, Pinterest and stuff, and Instagram, and see everyone's like, yeah, did you guys notice this? It's really foggy. I'm like, I can't believe I thought about that. Like, it's really...
I didn't even notice that.
Like, it's... Like, I know it's not as big as Ashley's theory, but I was pretty proud of myself. I was like,
No,
look at
that's still, like,
me.
good. Like, I didn't even notice that. And then I really loved when Ventress, like, pulled out her lightsabers. One, I love the yellow color.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfectly fitting. Also, curved hilts. She's got her curved hilts back. I'm very, very excited about that. But yeah, I love the yellow color. It perfectly fits her character. I'm sorry, I'm thinking. I also love, oh my god, running up the hill. That is hilarious. She's like, but it's already sunset. And starts bucking it. First of all, she got pretty far, like, without Badger. Like, and I was like, I could not do that, dude. If she's like, okay, get up to the top of the mountain,
I'd be
like before
what?
sunset, I'd be like, dude.
No, that's why I cannot be a Jedi.
Love the idea of her hopping on Badger, though. Gosh, I would use that so often.
About Ventress, like, being alive. So the most that the, like, Bad Batch creators have said is that they're gonna explain, like, they're, like, how she survived, like, later on. But they didn't really say, like, how in-depth it's gonna be. And they also said they're just kind of, like, playing around with their characters. So I don't necessarily think they're retconning it, but I think they're just kind of working around it.
They said that they're using some elements from the book and
Yeah.
not using others.
So
Obviously, Ventress being alive.
So yeah. I did like how they use the whole animal thing. In the book it says that's something that, like, I was telling Ashley about this, but it's something that she had always struggled with. Like, she was very aggressive, but then Quinlan taught her how to, like, interact with other beings in a more, like, you don't always have to be, because I feel like she grew up with just a really aggressive
Anger.
Yeah, lots of anger, and so I really like seeing that from her in this episode.
Also, I just loved the Bad Batch in this episode. I love when Omega was, like, working on something and they're just sitting in the background and they're, like, cheering her on. They're adorable. I love them.
Also, I don't know if anyone else thought of this, but the part where Wrecker's looking through his binoculars and Ventress makes eye contact with him, it reminded me of that one part in Rebels when Zeb's looking.
New Rockstars actually talked about that.
Let's go! Because he's thinking on it, because it's one of the funniest parts of Rebels is when he's looking through binoculars and he sees that one
Creature?
Yeah. Thrawn's assassin, and he makes eye contact and Zeb, like, freaks out and he's like, oh, his eyes.
It looked at me. And I love when Wrecker was looking through binoculars. He's like, how'd she know I was looking?
Yeah,
That's funny.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one thought about that then.
You know,
I'm up to, should I be New Rockstars?
we should be New Rockstars. We're at that level.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not cool. Okay. I did love the animal connection, like that whole thing. That was pretty sick. I also love, Omega was like trying and she's like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking for. I also loved the score while Ventress was like using the force. That was so beautiful. I love how
Beautiful.
I love how when Omega's like, did you summon that? She's like, not intentionally. The freaking Kraken, bro. What are they doing?
Okay, we need to talk about the whole ending. Here's the thing. And I feel like a lot of people have agreed on this. Like, I feel like it's just a universal feeling that the fandom has. But Omega should not leave with Ventress at the end. Because I feel like the whole theme of Bad Batch has been about, like, this, like, dysfunctional, like, family just coming together through, like, a really hard time. And I feel like it'd be really refreshing to see a character that just like, not only want to pursue that whole force sensitive thing, like, I just, like, someone that, like, chooses to just be with her family.
I feel like a lot of Star Wars lately has been people, like, leaving to pursue force, like, the Force.
Mandalorian season
2. And, like, and a lot of characters becoming force sensitive with Ahsoka. And I would really love to see one who just, like, didn't show any interest in that path and just staying. If she left with Ventress, I'd be really mad, first. And I just feel like that wouldn't go right with her character, like, at all. Because I don't feel like Omega would have any interest in doing that. I feel like she would show more interest in staying with her brothers.
And I feel like I mean, I don't know if they intentionally tried to foreshadowing this, but, like, the whole part where she's talking about how Omega needs to be trained, she's like, well, I am trained. Because I feel like the whole thing is that she's just learning so much from her brothers. Like, they're teaching her all their different things on how to, like, be a soldier. And I feel like that's the whole part of her character, is I don't think she would just abandon all that and go and train to...
Right?
I don't know. I feel like it would just, like you said, be really refreshing. Because I feel like not a character has done that yet.
Also, okay, this is so random. I'm so sorry. I got reminded of this. Since I've mentioned before that I'm rewatching season 1 right now, it's especially different with, like, information from season 3, because I was watching episode 3. I don't remember what it's called. Okay. Was it? I don't know. And Nala Say and, like, the Kaminoan, like, guy, what is his name?
Something Sue.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like Namasu or something.
There you go. They were talking about how the Empire is going to take over the clone thing and that they're not needed anymore. And the whole concept of Project, like, M Count was hinted at from the very beginning. Because they were talking about how Nala Say, like, needed to get started and, like, needs to finish her project so they could have stronger clones to combat the Empire thing. I was like, holy crap. Like, just the amount of foreshadowing and, like, since the very, very beginning of Bad Batch is crazy.
It's like Age of Ultron status, like, where they brought up, like, literally Endgame in that movie. That's actually crazy.
It's wild. And I highly recommend, if you haven't, just, like, rewatching season 1 since season 3 has been out, because I've, like, noticed a lot more things since then. It's really cool.
Yeah. Also, I really like the part where Crosshair's talking about not trusting Ventress, and then he's like, you're being naive, and she's like, well, I didn't give up on you, did I? And then it's just, like, really silent. Like, just really good nod to how far he's come. And really, Omega was the only one that truly, like, believed in him
since, like, the whole thing. Like, I also I mentioned season 1 a lot. The whole thing where, like, everyone is annoyed at Crosshair or, like, just betrayed. And then Omega constantly says, like, you can't blame him. It's not his fault.
I feel like... Oh, sorry.
She was, like, the only one since the very beginning who, like, didn't give up on him.
I actually love Omega's character so much. I just love how... Like, yeah, she can be naive at times, definitely. But
she's a kid.
She's so... Like, I feel like that's also just, like, in her childlike wonders that she's, like, very forgiving and trusting. Like, she's... I don't know, like, I just feel like, especially with Crosshair, like, can you imagine having a brother that's, like, betrayed you, gone through all this stuff.
Tried to kill you,
and you still, like, believe in him after all this time.
It's just nice.
She's a great character, and I don't want her to leave. Please.
But yeah, with the whole thing, with the reviews lately being like the next 2 episodes are gonna be like the darkest, I definitely feel like it's going to take place on Pabu, especially with the overlying storm coming in, and I'm very scared, very terrified.
I feel
Dude, are they all gonna die?
I feel like especially since, okay, so the first episode is called Identity Crisis, and then the second one is Point of No Return. I feel like that's definitely has something to do with Pabu.
Okay, Identity Crisis 1 is wild. What? What do you mean by that? And then Point of No Return.
Excuse me?
I'm sick.
No, all of the reviews have been on. But like, yeah, this is really dark. You might want to take work off of
Might want to take work off.
That's wild.
Like, just okay. I don't know if I can take much more.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about it on our podcast.
Oh.
Okay, would you really think they would kill someone off that soon?
Oh no, I'm not thinking the Bad Batch. I'm thinking Pabu, the townspeople.
Oh, just like
what if they bomb the
situation?
place? Like I'm saying, like legit. What if like a Camino situation where they bomb the whole mountain? Okay, am I hallucinating, or did we see a shot in the trailer where the Marauder is blown up?
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah. So that's my theory, is that the Empire is gonna find them and blow up the whole freaking place, which is awesome and amazing.
So, okay, after those 2 episodes this week, we literally have 4 left.
What?
We have, how do you say that?
Juggernaut?
We have that one, then we have Into the Breach, then Flash Strike, then the Cavalry has arrived. I'm so incredibly sorry.
Okay, the Cavalry has arrived is wild.
I actually teared up the first time I saw it. I'm not ready to let go of the Bad Batch, but I'm also, like, someone could die, I guess. No, definitely something probably is going to go on. Okay, the one comment where it was like, oh, you guys saw fog, and just wait until there's clouds.
Into the Breach and Flash Strike is very interesting.
The whole team in Bad Batch just needs to shut their yappers. They love trolling us. It's annoying.
They get way too much joy from doing that. It needs to stop.
So yeah, I don't have any theories. People have speculated that Identity Crisis could either be about Omega and like her force sensitivity or Tech, and let's not talk about that.
They're like, Tech, guys, like he'll have an identity crisis. Like, okay. It's not. I feel like it's gonna be about Omega and her force sensitivity.
Or literally maybe not about that at all, actually, I don't know. Oh, but then there was that one reviewer that said, like, I have never hated a cartoon character more than Hemlock. What do you mean? Krell exists.
Krell exists.
I mean, Hemlock is very twisted, honestly. Krell is more so just annoying in the sense that he just hated Clone so much and you're just, like, pissed at him. Hemlock is actually just twisted.
Hemlock is not right in the head. He was definitely one of those kids who, like, freaking dissected animals as a kid.
He was literally probably just like that one Toy Story kid. Blew things up for fun, just like, for science.
Yo, he's such a weirdo.
Also, this season doesn't end with Hunter shooting Sid.
Real upset.
Didn't even happen.
Also, give me a sec. I left my brain. Oh, with the whole, like, my theory that, like, Pabu is gonna get freaking, like, bombed. Next episode. Also a reminder that Hemlock has full resources of the Empire on his behalf. Mm-hmm. So that's amazing. That's great. That is awesome. We love that.
If Ventress got in undetected, no one noticed, anyone could get in. I'm not saying that Ventress is, like, bad. I'm just saying that, like, someone did get in. So...
Why am I a fan of Star Wars again?
I think this is the longest we've ever talked on an episode.
I know.
And I think it's just because this is right before a turning point. Like, we're literally going to get into some...
A lot was uncovered in this episode. Especially with, like, M count and chlorians and crap like that.
I'm so scared. Also, it's not just, like, we can watch the episodes whenever we want. But we got, like, a busy schedule, and we usually watch with our dad, and so... We never, like, get to watch them right away, and that kills me.
Like, we never, ever get to watch them on Wednesday. We usually have to watch them typically on Saturday or Sunday.
What do you mean? Thursday. We watch on Thursday sometimes.
Yeah, Thursday sometimes. But never the day of.
No. Which is annoying.
Very annoying.
That's how I got spoilers to Text Death, and that is something I don't
That is so bad, dude.
I still... Okay. I don't want to get into that. Also, Kevin Kiner dropped the score for the first 8 episodes.
I haven't listened yet.
Fire. Frankly, one of the best things I've ever heard in my life. Can I just say, like, so underrated. You should be up there with, like, John Williams and, like, Hans Zimmer and stuff.
I really should.
Literally such a good composer, but whatever. Okay, this episode is pretty long. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sure next week's is going to be longer.
Oh my gosh.
So,
Guys, I'm terrified.
I'm actually terrified. I'm shaking.
Shaking.
I am not going to be able to focus on anything on Wednesday. So, yeah. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.